Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Wednesday. Oh, no, today is Tuesday. I'm all messed up today. I normally do these videos on Wednesday. So let's start over. Hi there. Sherry Moyes here, your intuitive business alchemist, astro curious friend who is here to share with you all the ways astrology can work for you in your business. And today is a powerful topic that we are going to dive into. We are going to talk about the upcoming Mercury retrograde cycle. And I want to dispel some myths and give you 3 ways that you can work with this energy in your business. So there is a lot of pop culture and info about Mercury retrograde. And you know me, I love to tell you what's true about that. So we are about to enter our first full Mercury retrograde cycle of 2023 on Friday. And whenever we hear Mercury going retrograde, you'll start to see all of the, memes and articles about backing up your computer. Don't do this, do that. Don't sign contracts. Don't buy this. And it can start to make you feel like maybe you should just go and hide for the 3 weeks while Mercury's in its backwards motion. But like I said, what's true about that? So during this live, I'm going to share with you 3 keys to having the energy work for you, not against you, so you can continue to move the meter in your business in a powerful way. So first off, let's just do a little history or, lesson here about what is Mercury retrograde, what does it even mean that it's going backwards. So planet of Mercury, it's all about communication, including listening, speaking, learning, reading, researching, negotiating, selling, buying. It also rules formal contracts and agreements. So it's a big deal in terms of it gives us a lot of information about, how we communicate, how people are wanting to be communicated to. So when it starts to go backwards, when it's retrograde, it isn't truly going backwards. It appears to be going backwards in the sky. So it's an illusion. Actually, Earth is simply, it's just from our point of view that it looks like it's going backwards, but it does have an impact on our energy. So why should you care? Why is it a big deal when a planet retrogrades? Susan Miller of Astrology Zone says that when a planet retrogrades, astrologically, it's resting or in a sleeping state. Therefore, when Mercury takes a little nap, the activities it governs don't have the benefit of a well-functioning, wide-awake planet to supervise them. So it's like if you let your 3-year-old play by themselves unsupervised, God only knows what would happen, right? And because it rules our communication, including all of our technology and systems of information exchange, it rules the part of us that also absorbs information and shares information with others. So that normal flow of energy is reversed, and typically our ideas and thoughts they can feel like they get stuck in our mind instead of easily being able to share with others. So the energy is turned inward, which isn't a bad thing. It's just knowing how to work with it. And there is this, you'll start to notice, and I've been noticing a little bit of techie snafus as of late. It does impact our digital communication and emails, social media platforms. We saw in today's news, Southwest Airlines had a technology issue that took their planes out of the sky, literally, for a while today. So we can see it happening in action. But here's the thing. We can focus on the possible snafus with tech, or communication, or we can look at it as an opportunity to circle back through parts of your business or your life that need some attention. And I'm going to set a caveat here because about a third of you who are listening or watching have Mercury natally retrograde in your chart. And I'm going to talk a little bit about in a minute what that means. So you kind of have the opposite effect going on. Mercury retrograde natally in your chart means that this is a power period for you. This is how you're used to communicating and absorbing information. Whereas for the rest of us, it creates an imbalance. So let's walk through some ways that you can work with this energy. Number one, the biggest piece of advice is to stay out of the fear and out of all the pop culture representations of this energy. Where we focus expands. So really, like I said, taking this as an opportunity to circle back through the parts of your business that need attention. And so if we take these intentional pauses in our business, we get an opportunity to review. Then we're not barreling forward constantly in the doing. There are these beautiful cycles that astrology gives us to work with that give us these pause points, that give us that inner reflection. We just are coming off of Aries season. We're about to move into, we're going to have a Taurus sun, big spotlight on Taurus themes, and Mercury going retrograde in Taurus. So there is a big focus right now on Taurus themes. So that's number two. Know what themes are up for review and lean into that energy. So during Taurus season, we're being asked to focus on our finances, our routines, habits, skills, resources, how to make things more stable for ourselves. So I was saying to someone this morning, I literally think I just want to, throw my business, I'll change it all up completely on some level. I'm looking at everything in my business and what is working and what isn't. But that's a very Mercury retrograde in Taurus type of thing. What are the foundational systems and structures that we're working with? And are they providing us, one, the financial reward that we desire? And two, are they bringing us joy? Taurus also is the planet of the energy of pleasure and sustainability. It needs to feel good. It needs to be pleasurable too. So what's working and what isn't? So this particular cycle, it's these kinds of Taurus themes. Another cycle, it'll be a different type of theme depending on where Mercury is transiting. So the third piece of advice is plan for it. Decide what's going to be most supportive for your business or your life, and focus on that. Make a plan to work with that energy and look at these things. I am literally looking at all these pieces of my business and how they're supporting me and what's working and what isn't, so that I can move forward when Mercury starts to go direct in a really powerful way. So, and you can personalize this by knowing where Mercury is in your own chart. Also, like I said, knowing if it's retrograde. If it's retrograde in your chart natally, you'll see a little R next to the planet. And you can use any software. There's a lot of free natal chart calculators out there that you can use. Astro.com, astroseek.com. Just Google natal chart and then look to see if you have that R. Because here's the thing, Mercury spends 27 weeks in forward motion and 27 weeks in retrograde motion. Working with this energy, no matter which side you're on, is important. So we've got lots of ways that we can navigate this. And in the AstroBiz Lab, I take my clients through, this Cosmos roadmap process where we're using my system to figure out, where it is that we need more clarity and confidence. Using Mercury retrograde to assess that, revisit, review, redesign, and then organizing the time through these cycles. So it's literally 9 weeks in total. Another story. So we know what kind of work we're wanting to put into where or focus where, and what's the structure of that process, so that we can add a little magic and optimize the results we're getting in the business. So some ways that you could, if you do not have Mercury, which is the majority of you, natally retrograde, you can use this time as it goes retrograde to do things like planting seeds, with your communities, nurture your audience. It's a great time to nurture your audience, especially Taurus energy. We can take in some information. It's internalizing it. Great time to build community, build authority, generate interest. If you have Mercury natally retrograde, this is a nice time for you to be making offers, launching. You likely, shouldn't have any of the typical snafus. So being intentional, that's the best way to work with this energy. So let me recap here. 3 things. 1, stay out of the fear. Focus on what's going to move the meter for you and your business. Know that this is an opportunity for review and use it as such. Number 2, know what the themes are, because that's the more you lean into the themes that are present, the more momentum you're going to create, the more that it's going to feel easy and in flow than if you're starting to focus on other things. This isn't an information gathering time. This isn't necessarily a time to go dive into a new course. It's what resources do you already have? What's working? What's not? What's going to help you move the meter? Lean into the themes of the current cycle, which in this case for us right now is Taurus. And then 3, plan for it. Decide what's going to be most supportive for you and your business. I'm always a fan of keeping it simple. I'm trying to follow my own advice right now. I have all these ideas and all these things I want to do, and I'm literally blowing up a lot of my business, which you're going to hear about in a minute, over the next few weeks, making some changes to my brand, which makes sense for where Mercury is in my chart, going through my first house of I am, of my brand, of my visibility. So those are the themes that are up for review for me. What is moving the meter financially for me with my business, with my brand, and what kinds of structures and systems are going to support that. So there's my review. So knowing where it is in your chart is going to be really powerful and supportive. And we always go over those things. We just did at our lab session last week. We reviewed Mercury retrograde, and I made sure all the members knew exactly where it was happening in their charts. So Mercury retrograde, friend or foe? Friend, as long as you know how to work with the energies and that you're aware of them. And then I've got a little gift for you. If you've watched through the end of this video and you're paying attention, I'm going to give 3 people with the opportunity to get my eyes on your birth chart and find out where Mercury will be occurring for you and what you might expect. So if that would be something you would be curious and interested in, if you're astro curious out there and you're not currently in the lab with me, drop an emoji down below. Let me know, raise your hand. And the first 3 people that raise their hand, I will reach out to you and I will get you set up with getting that info in the next day or so. So I'm excited for you to hear what you think about Mercury retrograde, what you plan to do with this energy now that you know a little bit more about it. And I'm super excited. One of my favorite things to do is get my eyes on folks' charts and give them that insight and confirmation about what's happening and how they can work with the energies. So drop me an emoji down below if you want me to take a look at your chart and get some insight. And if not, remember, just look at these 3 pieces. If you don't win that spot, look at these 3 pieces and you can always pull your own chart and it should give you some of that insight as well. All right, my friends, happy it is. We also have oh my goodness, so much energy this week. We've also got a new moon, a second new moon in Aries. That's a whole nother post that I'll be putting up tomorrow. And it is an eclipse. So lots of energies going on, lots of things bringing things into focus. So if you're feeling a little bit out of whack, lean into that Taurus energy, ground, take care of your nervous system. It's so important right now. Anyway, sending you much love and a happy Mercury retrograde, happy new moon. And remember, as always, all it takes is a little bit of heart power. I will see you soon.